You ever seen something you weren't supposed to? Something that shouldn't be there, but was? That's exactly what happened to me one night on Route 44. It was late, past midnight, the road almost deserted. My headlights cut through the thick New England fog as I drove through the winding stretch of highway. The only sound was the low hum of my tires on the asphalt until I saw him. A man standing by the side of the road. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with messy red hair and a plaid shirt. His thumb was out waving for a ride. Something about him felt off. Maybe it was how still he stood, how his expression didn't change. But I was exhausted, and against my better judgment, I slowed down and rolled down my window. "Where are you headed?" I asked. No response. Then, before I could blink, he was in the passenger seat. I hadn't even unlocked the door. My stomach dropped. My hands went cold on the wheel. He stared straight ahead, his face shadowed under the dim glow of the dashboard. I forced out a nervous chuckle. You okay, man?" That's when the radio went haywire. Static erupted from the speakers, a high-pitched screech that made me wince. The station flicked between voices, music, and then laughter. Deep, unnatural. I turned to the hitchhiker, but he was gone. The seatbelt was still fastened. The door hadn't opened. Then, a whisper right in my ear. "Thanks for the ride." I slammed on the brakes, my heart pounding. My breath came in short gasps as I fumbled to turn on the interior light. The seat was empty. And in the rearview mirror, just for a second, I saw him standing in the middle of the road behind me, smiling. I didn't wait. I hit the gas and never looked back. But to this day, sometimes when I'm alone in my car late at night, my radio still flickers. And once, just once, I swear I heard that same laughter.
Have you ever felt like something was watching you, something you couldn't see? I had that feeling the entire time I drove on what used to be called Highway 666. It was a long, empty stretch of road cutting through the desert, the kind where you go miles without seeing another car. The sun had set hours ago, leaving nothing but blackness outside my windows. The only light came from my high beams stretching into the darkness. Then I saw movement in the distance. At first, it looked like shadows shifting in the moonlight. But as I got closer, I realized there were figures on the side of the road, dozens of them. They weren't hitchhiking. They weren't even walking. They were just standing there. I gripped the wheel, my pulse spiking. My instincts screamed at me to keep driving, so I did. And then, headlights in my mirror, a massive semi-truck barreling toward me at full speed. I swerved, but the truck kept coming, its horn blaring, impossibly loud. I slammed the gas pedal, but no matter how fast I went, it was right behind me. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. No sound, no trace. The road ahead was empty. The figures on the side of the road were gone, and then I smelled it, burning rubber. I looked down. My speedometer read 100 miles per hour. I pulled over, trying to calm my shaking hands. My car engine ticked softly in the silence, and then a growl, low, guttural, close. I turned my head just in time to see glowing yellow eyes staring at me through the darkness. A massive dog, too large to be real, stood at the edge of the road, its teeth bared, its breath heavy, and then it lunged. I don't remember shifting into drive, but somehow I did. My tires screeched as I sped away. When I reached the next gas station, the attendant gave me a knowing look. "You were on 491, weren't you?" I nodded, too shaken to speak. He sighed. "You're lucky, man. Not everyone makes it off that road."
You ever feel like you're being followed? Like no matter where you go, something's right behind you? I felt that the entire time I was on Clinton Road. It started out normal. Just a late-night drive through a desolate, tree-lined stretch of highway. No street lights, no other cars, just me and the road. Then, in my mirror, headlights. Bright. Too bright. I frowned. Where had they come from? There hadn't been anyone behind me just a second ago. I sped up a little. So did the lights. I switched lanes. So did they. I was being followed. I gritted my teeth and pushed the gas pedal, the speedometer creeping higher. But no matter how fast I went, the headlights stayed glued to me, gaining. Then just when I thought they were about to ram into my back bumper, they vanished. Not faded, not turned, just gone. My heart was hammering, my breath ragged. I let out a shaky laugh. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. Then, the road behind me lit up again. The truck was back. But this time, it was right next to me. I turned my head, and my stomach dropped. There was no driver, no one behind the wheel. And yet, the truck was keeping pace with me, its engine growling. Then, just as suddenly, it veered off the road, straight into the trees. I slammed on my brakes, heart pounding. But there was no crash, no sound, no sign of wreckage. Just an empty road. And when I looked back in my mirror, I saw a figure standing in the middle of the street, watching me. I left that road that night and never returned. But the worst part, sometimes, late at night, when I check my mirror, I still see those headlights. If you think these stories were terrifying, wait until you hear about the horrors people have experienced after moving into a new house. Click here to watch true new house horror stories.
But be warned, some houses hold secrets that refuse to stay buried.